Good morning. Welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee, number 238. I've got a whole bunch of stuff to get through. I look like I've been dragged through a hedge, and that is my desired look usually. So, um, it is Remembrance. Oh, it's turned me. Oh, got double me there. It's Remembrance Sunday, so I will be making sure to be gone by absolute max of 5 to 11. Um, if I was still going on by then, it'd feel weird to do a 1 minute silence on stream. Like, get ready with me, do a 1 minute silence with me, or very odd. This is like extra poofed today. I don't like, but I do like it all quite main like. So it is quite main like today. Um, as you're now used to my weekly hair check-ins of how that's going. I'm a bit flustered as I've just been running around getting some stuff together. As always, I've got weird health stuff going on, so I was late um, as I had extra sleep this morning. It's huge, isn't it? So yeah, sorry, just a bit. But I've got loads of cool stuff, and I want to make sure that I get through it. I've got a show and tell, lots of tell. Um, this jumper, right? Check this jumper out. Oh, like a sleeve up. Look at that, look at that there. Hand knitted, charity shop, £4. It's going to be treasured by me forever now, and it's nice and warm. I think it's a wool acrylic blend. Very nice, good spot. Very happy with that. So I made sure to get that on. Gotta get that in there. £4, £4. As it is a bit chilly now. Mug reveal. Seeing as it was commandeered by Tara last week, I now have it back. The cooling tower. It's definitely a cooling tower sort of day, and it is a beautiful mug. So yeah, we've got lots of people here. I haven't. Let's have a quick drink from this. The main stories this week is, let's move that. Medieval women, in their own words, in the British Library in London town. That's the main story. That I've got lots of cool things to show. And I'm sure there was another one. War pigs. So last weekend we did have Tara as an excellent co-host, and oh, Jill, the £4 a bargain. We had Tara as an excellent co-host, who I miss now because I've got to do it by myself, um, and we had day 2 of war pigs testing. So we showed you a little bit of what we've been up to. So I'll go into what we did after the live stream last Sunday. Andy says, since Annie got back from London, she can't stop using Cockney rhyming slang. Apples and pears, dong and moan. I have been very much like that. Andy is always telling the truth, as we know. So. I'm also glad you're here this week, Andy. I thought you would be at a tournament. We had some random spam last week, and I had to deal with it by myself. Um, so maybe I do need the second mod. So yeah, scattering today. So got no notes, obviously. Although I do have my notes from the exhibition in my excellent. This is my out and about notebook. I have a variety of notebooks. I use this from Squiddo Games. You may have heard of them. This is my specifically for trips and talks one. So I've got it all in one place. So it's all my little notes on. Oh, yeah, look, see, get to go. Oh, that was York. Yeah, yeah. Hey, John Hatchett. So I've got my notes from the actual thing to remind me of what my favourite things are. So let me just pop that there. So that's in front of me as some sort of notes. So I shall begin with, let's move the show and tells. There we go. There we go. Oh, we've got lots of books. Lots of books have either been arrived or purchased this week. So good morning, anyone who I've missed that's popped in. Good morning. It's very, I don't know, frantic this morning. So this week, I went to the exhibition. Medieval women, in their own words. Put them there. So them holding the book is a bit like me holding the book. And I wish I was comfortable enough for photos out in the wild, because I did kind of want a picture also holding a book along the row of ladies. But I hate having my pictures. Next time. So this is the guide, well, not the guidebook, the accompanying exhibition manual, which is a definite buy if you cannot make it to the exhibition. This is purchasable through the gift shop online, as well as all the excellent merch, which I will be showing you. So this is the exhibition. It's relatively new. I think it's been open a couple of weeks. It's in the British Library in London, which is right next to St Pancras Station, closer than I remembered, because I thought it's a little bit of, oh, here I am there. It's pretty much right outside it. There's like a hotel, and then you're there. It's on till, I can't remember, some point next year. Very much recommend. I think it's the best exhibition I've been to in a very long time, for lots of different reasons. So I went there. I went there with Alec, who's in the chat. Alec is a top tier museum / British Library accompaniment, so thank you very much for going with me. It made it an extra good day, so it was really, really cool. So the exhibition, I need more coffee. This is the franticness of the hair is matching today. And also that I'm in lots of pain at the same time, so just trying to multitask all of that. It's good. The teal works well with the orange, doesn't it? I like this. Alec actually got himself a very fashionable jumper, which I did kind of think, oh, I wish I'd got a jumper, but I'd already spent all my money on books. But the fates rewarded me with a cheaper jumper. So, and a cardigan. I prefer cardigans to jumpers. I like the open cardigan thing. Also, I realised afterwards, Tim, that I entirely forgot to message you, because I said I'd let you know if I was about, and I wasn't, and I forgot to message. Sorry. You will notice there is teal and orange in the Bird Squiddo logo. If I'm purple, oh my god! See, it is my favourite combo. But I didn't do that on purpose. I am dressed in Bird Squiddo colours. Yes, always be representing. So I'll just put that really precariously. Let's not do that. Through. So I met Alex, and we went in, and I met Rory at Salute. It's good. It's good branding, because it works, doesn't it? So I met Rory at Salute. He came over, and he is one of. I did find his actual job title, because I was like, he's a British Library guy. He is part of the something team. Does a lot of the digitizing of the stuff, but he came over. Sorry, I'm rubbish at this. He came over and met us, because he said at Salute, if you're ever this exhibition's coming up, and let me know if you're about. So I did, and he met us at the door. It felt very VIP. So he gave us a sort of his highlights before we'd had a proper look around. So went, here are my highlights, the bits I'm particularly happy about. Also, it's that guy. Look. So what he was talking to me about at Salute, not Expo, he'd got Black Agnes into the exhibition, and that is so cool. That is so cool. Yay, Tara's here. The comments do seem to be working, so you might have cursed it, but I have reclaimed the cooling tower, so not all is lost. It did. I got a bit jealous last weekend with you using the cooling tower. Look at it. It's fine. I'll use another mug. Did he greet you with, "Hey, aren't you the handler of Turkey Man?" That's what everyone greets me with, to be fair. So, and so yes, Rory gave us this tour around. Also, while Tara's here, we're talking War Pigs later for the Sunday roundup of how we ended up at the end of the War Pigs. Still War Pig stuff that I've kind of had to out of the way to get the screen up. A little bit of coffee. Ooh. Slurping, just because again I'm aware of the cut-off time today. Amy was there, Warp Fiend, yay! So we put first medieval ladies. So they've tried as much as possible at the exhibition to get their own words, whether it's their direct words or the words dictated and scribed, rather than people talking about women, which is a nice change. Very nicely timed. Obviously, won't mention that fully, but some election results were a bit grim, to say the least. So it was kind of a nice time to go, although kind of just added on to my eternal rage, as I will talk about in a bit. Not my eternal rage, but some of the themes of the exhibition. So it's I've never been to the British Library, never been to an exhibition at the library. Part of me was a bit concerned because I was thinking, what if it's just all words? Like, I don't know how my attention span can hold on a bunch of words, especially words that I can't read. And it turns out that they'd already thought of that and they'd mixed it up with loads of stuff. So we were there all day. I even had a backup plan just in case to go to the British Museum, to look at, because I do still want to check out the Palmyran busts because they weren't there last time, and I want to take Zenobia to meet them, obviously. So, so that was the backup. I didn't need the backup because we were there till kick out basically. So the way it is organized is just beautiful. I'm sure Alec will agree. As you walk in, it's like magnificent. And I do quite a lot of exhibitions and museums and places like that, and it was just really beautifully put together. Especially where a lot of the content are books. You know, you have to make it so it's not just a wall of books. Because even the most, I do love the term museum fatigue, and I thought, oh, this is really top tier danger for museum fatigue. And later on, when we did the curator talk, they mentioned that they wanted to really make sure no one got fatigued. Like, yes, they're on it. They're on it. This is how they're so good. So it was a specific medieval period they kind of focused on. I forgot what's on the notes somewhere. But because it's obviously so broad, it was kind of Middle Ages. So it's focusing on, I should have had more notes for this, but different aspects of women's lives. There was private life, public life, and nun life. And what I liked is it started off with the day-to-day, rather than, straight into the queens and stuff. Yeah, Alex, but definitely one of the best exhibitions I've ever been to. It was so good. So there was a lot about women's health, different ways, different look, 1,000 to 1,500, 1,000 to 1,500. So lots about women's bodies, some cool stuff like a birthing girdle that just had loads of what's the word? Prayers, loads of prayers and stuff around it. Just again, my brain's on like 20 times because I want to get things through it, but then it's on a bit of a zoom. They had the things of major Squiddo interest is they'd had stuff related to some of the people we have as miniatures and some of the people that I want to have as miniatures. And one of the reasons the exhibition is so good is it just focuses just broadly across so many different types of women. They definitely tried to be as inclusive as possible. Hey, Lil's there. Morning, Lil. Oh, she's dog sitting. I haven't seen you in a while, Lil. I did yesterday. So Mum's heard a lot of this. She's heard a lot about one particular thing, which I will show shortly. I kind of part of me doesn't want to spoil too much of the exhibition because I want you to go and then have that same like because it's so there's a mixture of books and words and stuff. Large amounts of them are illuminated. Is it illuminated manuscripts? Which I always get jealous of and think, oh, I wish that we still did that. I wish people just went, I'm just going to draw a little dog in the margins. Why not? So that mixture of the super gold and really fancy ones and ones where they're like just chuck a dog in the margins, and then lots of notes as well. but there's something somebody commented, I think it was Steve Cooper in Baggy's Cave, there's a specific word um, where like being in the presence of the physical object is just like quite sublime. So even though they're just words on paper, it was like they're the words, they're the words that people wrote, and because I think due to the delicate nature of it and it being that old, that it's not just, it's like, how has this even survived? Like, will my will my notes be in some like unhinged women of the 2000s like exhibition at some point? Um, so the way that they'd managed to still be around, and I think because writing is so personal, it's that like, I don't know, something extra, yeah, personal, intimate sort of thing, that their hand had written that all those years ago, and that was extra moving. So even some bits that were literally just parchment with text that you couldn't read on, you're still like, wow, wow. Um, so I've got no notes at all. I'm just like, I don't want to over talk about what's there. Some of the highlights that there was, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you all of the things. I kind of want you to go, but not everyone can go. So, my personal highlight, dum, ba-dum, was, it's going to be really shiny because it's still in the packaging. What's this? I'm going to let you guess first what this is. And if you know, you're not allowed to say, Alec. So obviously not the real one. This is a print. I didn't steal it. I didn't steal it. Who's gonna get it? Why was this the best thing ever? Tim says it's a picture of an old document. That is correct. Specifically, Jamie Mayers is getting there. Text of someone that's been made into a bad Squiddo mini. The manual for a 1984 Ford Granada. Yay, Wickerman! Wickerman gets it. Woo! You win nothing. You win my personal thumbs up. Um, it is the it's Joan of, it's a letter written by Joan of Arc, which they not written by Joan of Arc because she couldn't write, dictated by Joan of Arc, but signed by Joan of Arc, and it's one of the very few examples of her signature or autograph. And it has been Alec Camino. I am rubbish at remembering specific things. The place in France where it has been kept from the very, well, since it was there, basically. It's the first time it's gone over to anywhere else. So that was really cool. And I didn't know it was there. It's kind of like, dun, 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 around the corner. Oh, here's Joan of Arc, something that she actually wrote on. Um, and she wrote on it. I think part of it, when we were discussing afterwards, like all the best bits and stuff, something about that, like validation of just like, I think 'cause so often I'm having to convince these people going, no, they were real, and like they're just made up people from history. I'm like, she's there, she's physically there. Um, and the actual text that makes it even better. So this, obviously in French, um, is a letter asking for more. It was like for more ammo and weapons and more supplies at a particular town. Could be Don Remy. I don't know. I don't know. It's in the book. It's in the book, available from all good, just the one British Library gift shop. And so it's specifically in the context of Joan of Arc being a military leader, and doing military stuff. You know, where you could say, oh, she was just kind of there as a figurehead, but she's there signing the order. And it's not, not that it would, I don't know, something about it being particularly that rather than just, almost like I had another dream or something. It's like, it's a very factual sort of thing. Joan of Arc sounds an order, yeah. Dear Mr. Bezos, I don't know who you are, but I've seen you. Oh my God, imagine that, a vision of Bezos from the past going, Nobody needs that. That could be a satire, art. That'd be good. Some of those social commentary things. So that there in the flesh was amazing. Obviously, this is just a print, but it is a reminder of it, which is very poignant. So I'm going to put that up in the office. I'm very happy with that. But next to that, um, were free open books. Can't remember what one of them was, though it had an illustration of her in it, looking nothing like her, because they were like, "Oh, we can't draw in trousers. We'll draw in like just looking like a standard upper class lady, I guess." They had um, the transcript of the trial, which was possibly one of the most exciting things I've ever seen. Um, it was very unusual that I didn't cry. Maybe because I wasn't on my own. Maybe because I was like, I can't cry because Alex here will judge me. My like hardened toxic masculinity or something. I was like, no, I've got to be strong. But it's really, really cool because I've studied that the trial. So to see the writing of it there, it's like and for some reason, I didn't know that there was a second retribution trial about 25 years later, and that's there. So that's where they get lots of people to go, actually, she was really cool, and they go, oh, maybe we shouldn't have burnt her alive. So that was there as well. So that and as the presentation, that was just incredible, like the best. And even though I've done a spoiler and said it's there, it's just go see it, go see it. So good, so good. Um, and what we're on 35 there, we went to a curator's talk for a couple hours that was in the middle of the day, so we kind of Rory showed us a lot of the cool sort of highlights, which we knew to kind of go back and look for, including Joan of Arc. Then we went to the talk by the curators, which was also really brilliant, and lots of behind the scenes on how you get an exhibition like that together, which is again pretty fascinating. Then we got coffee. Then we went back in. Go back in. Which was Exagrad that we did the talk and then got to go back in because obviously they mentioned a few bits that we hadn't noticed because there's so much there. You're like, what was that one? So we got to go back and look at some of those. It was packed the whole day, and they said it's been really successful. And they said so successful they've had to get people that are normally on annual leave to come back in or something, because it's been way more than they expected, which is really good. Something we both noticed is that there were a lot of women there, which is obviously good. But like many things, like I was saying, a lot of times I go to these talks about women in history, it's mostly women. And it's great that women are learning, we're learning our own history, but the men need to learn the history as well. Like, so I'm kind of intrigued how you can, show, which is the same sort of struggle I have with Bad Squiddo sometimes, where people will be like, this is great for my daughters, and you're like, and sons. And it's just the way we're kind of conditioned to think about stuff. So yeah, that was an interesting sort of thought process of yeah, like how do you break through people seeing like women's history, women's rights, all of that stuff as just issues that only women should care about? That's an interesting point. We did also find out that Alec is probably a witch. There's a good bitch there. Bitch. I'm reading the word non-binary weirdos from Daniel. There were actually, yes, there was a good though I do not know, a good assumed proportion of non-binary weirdos with amazing hairdos there as well. The lack was again presenting as cis men, not so many. They're a bit more later on in the day, but proportionally, I'd be very interested in tickets sold, like visitors attended, if they did a sort of survey on that. Because yeah, but that's sort of a wider cultural issue that is sort of drilled in, that it's like, oh, women's stuff, that's for women, men's stuff, that's for everyone. Yes, Alec is a witch. Mm. Oh, coffee is good. Right, what are we on? 38. It's like 10 minutes. Um, Nun art. nuns do amazing art. I did feel it was a bit of a conspiracy by Big Nun because I wanted to be a nun by the end of it, but only a medieval nun, not so much a nun now. And that's what I read in the Secret Sex Lives of Medieval Women, I think the book was. Where if you were obviously betrothed to a much older man that's probably going to abuse you, you could just be a nun. You couldn't just be a nun, but it was an option. But from hindsight, I could be a nun. You'd have to go near them, and then you get to write poetry and do really cool little paintings and stuff, and write poetry and sing songs, and maybe have a monkey. So there was another favourite bit was nuns could maybe have one cat, and some were allowed different pets, but it was generally frowned upon. But there was one Welsh lady, or Welsh nun, also lady, who wanted a monkey, and instead of writing that to the person, whoever it was in charge, the abbot perhaps, that she wanted a monkey, I can't remember exactly what it was, again Alec will know. It was like a letter to a troubadour to write a song and then and perform the song to convince the abbot to let her have a monkey. So instead of just like, can I have a monkey please, you kind of write into Ed Sheeran or something, going, can you go and perform, like, can she have, I don't know why I'm doing this, can she have a monkey please, she really would like a monkey. I kind of want to make a more elaborate song. It did say it's unknown whether she got the monkey or not. But yeah, as the MJ and Oz says, ironically, the church were absolutely where the LGBT community at the time congregated. Yes, it's fine. We'll just put all these people together here, away from society. Mm, mm, mm. Right. Oh, interesting. Jamie says Anna Komnene was a nun and wrote the only history of the Roman Empire by a woman. After being made a nun after trying to coup her own brother. um, the one named John reminds me. I learned from Jez Hunt earlier in the week that Guy Fawkes's pseudonym was, when they said, "What's your name?" you went, John Johnson. Classic, classic. So what we got? Like, we got stuff brain. How have I missed that? Did I miss that in the exhibition? See? So this is the first ever print of a book is in the exhibition. I probably just got nunned out by then. I was like, look at all this cool nuns. How did I not notice that? Probably did notice it and went, hey, look at that. That's interesting. And then it's just left my brain. Back. So yeah, the rundown of this exhibition is that it's also amazing. It's just the best. Extra thanks to Rory for showing us around, curators for the really nice talk, and Alec for being a very fun and informative. I gave my review, as I do to Andy when he came back. I was like, my latest museum companion review. It's like informative and entertaining, so that's always good. And I think that made me not as knackered because I wasn't just staring at all the books, because we were having a nice little chat in between and stuff. So that was really good. And also just the really good curatorness. And beer that we had at the end. Yes, gotta have a beer at the end. That's the rule. The rule, not of the exhibition. I want to go, but I don't want to have a beer. So the book is awesome. If you're definitely not going to make it, go just buy the book from the website because it is really, really good. So I didn't take many pictures because I'm like, well, it's all going to be in the book in a much better way of looking back at it. I just took some for the social medias, and I obviously like the stuff with the John just as it was presented, just for nice memories. So the book, wicked. What are we on? 43. Christine de Pizan, she was there, not personally, and she was the first sort of known woman author, professional author, and this is one of her books. So I thought I'm going to read her book, not a book about her, one of her books, The Treasure of the City of Ladies. A valuable counterbalance to male accounts of life in the Middle Ages, and demonstrates, often with dry humour, how women's position in society could be made less precarious by following the correct etiquette. I could have very easily spent hundreds of pounds in that exhibition if I had hundreds of pounds. So that was also the best gift shop ever. They had a lot of stuff made specifically for it, rather than just some vaguely related things. And the book collection was so good. So I also purchased this, which is a British Library book, which is also full of more amazing and lots of pictures, which is always good. Hey, look at that! Oh, Olympias is kissed by a dragon-like serpent as Philip shows his disapproval. Bet he would. So there, it's like. So I got that book. So they were my two big purchases because they're very chunky books. But also, they did loads of stuff with this pattern on. And I could quite happily have bought all that, but I was very sensible and just bought this little bag. Technically a pencil case, but I will store some sort of Squiddo related thing in there because I like storing things in bags. So that was a very small haul I actually got, which was quite impressive. But also because I know that it's all online, I thought, if I want to get a few more bits, I can get it online, which is a bit dangerous. God, I've got to speed up again. There's so much to talk about. Another favourite bit of the exhibition is Isabella of France. There was a satire pin of her, and she's on a boat, which says that the boat's a bit like a dick, but I can't quite see that. But then on another thing, it doesn't say. I don't know. But she's got a dick on her shoulder. And it's got a little crown on, and it's supposedly the chap that she was in alliance with, that they were saying was her lover. So it's mean to Isabella, but I kind of want to reclaim it because it'd just be such a cool model. I was already messaging Alan last night, going, look at this, it's got a crown on it. So that was entertaining. We've got 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Whilst we're still on books, I brought this book with me and I read it on the train down. I've already read it, but I needed a recap so that I had lots of stuff fresh in my mind. This book is hilarious and also hilarious and informative. It's the book version of Alec Melinda. It's got it all. So sort of shoulder dick is a good look for Halloween next year. And it's got that sort of horrible histories feel to it. It's crammed full of information, and I was laughing out loud on the train, so that's always a good sign of a good book. And that got me nicely caught up with a lot of stuff. So a lot of the Pope sort of shenanigans. And who's the lady? Eleanor Janaga. I'm pretty sure she writes some specific women books as well. Carol says Anna Komnene is brilliant. She's the daughter of the Emperor Alexios Komnenos. She's a great source for the Roman Empire in the 11th and 12th centuries and the First Crusade. Excellent. Daniel says my words don't work. I misread Middle Ages as middling eggs. Middling eggs. I'm definitely going to be looking. I've got a bit of that era, Middle Ages, wanting to make minis, but I'm doing resistance. And then I don't know. Part of me was musing whether to do community minis as like a short Kickstarter to get another booth of minis, but I don't know. I'm concerned. Oh, googly-eyed skull. No. This book is amazing. There we go. Oh look, it's even got a Tony Robinson saying it's hilarious. I was going to say the releases like this sign. Releases lately are terrible. To be honest, so releasing things outside of a Kickstarter has gone from nowhere near as good as a Kickstarter to basically nobody's buying it, and I don't know why. I don't have enough time to even muse why. But it's getting to the point where I'm considering, do I just release things on Kickstarter? I don't know. The shop's fine, people are buying stuff still. It's not as good as it should be because this is normally the best time of the year because it's the sort of early Christmas present. But brand new releases are all just falling to the ground, and I know there's nothing wrong with them. Don't like mention this sort of thing because you get lots of speculation going. Well, maybe it's this one. I've done all of the speculation. I've done all of the charts, all of the things, and for whatever reason, no matter what the genre, the type of thing, it's just kind of. So I don't know. Don't know if it's just a weird. Sometimes this happens. I know that they will eventually sell and they'll all be fine and they'll just be in the day-to-day things that are purchased. But as far as initial purchases go, it's like the saddest it's ever been. When you have this like brand new thing and you're showing it all over the internet and everyone's like, yeah, and then you're like, you're gonna buy it, and this is not at you. As always, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm not going to guilt you to buy it because it's not you. It's not you. But there's 36 people here, and I've got an audience. The entire sort of people who are aware of Bad Squid are getting himself into a tangle now. It's just really odd to see like not a single some of those recent purchases, not a single person has bought. And I'm not angry. So I really want to make sure I'm not angry. You're not angry at anyone. I'm just kind of baffled that of the thousands of people that see the things that one hasn't bought that. Whereas say the shop's fine, people are buying the usual bits, which is good, but anything new that just doesn't have a big impact like it used to. It has never had a huge impact since I've been around. It's always been like you've got to Kickstarter stuff. And I'm really getting to this like, am I just going to have to Kickstarter everything because they're still. It's the rush of the Kickstarter I think is more important than ever. Whereas there's just maybe just so much saturation at the moment. And people are like, oh, that's cool. I'll pick it up at some point, and then kind of forget. So I'm not sure. And I also want to make sure that the relaunch for Community Minis doesn't just sort of go blep and get stuck on 50 quid or something. And we, have to spend 5 years to get the next mini. I don't know. I do not know. So we shall see. But as always, you don't have to worry because I'm always problem solving. That's the plan at the moment. And yeah, you don't need to what's the word? You don't need to justify it. Like the fact you're here is amazing, and you're here and you support Squiddo. It's amazing. I hate it when I see companies guilt people because it makes me so angry. Going, none of you have bought this. If everyone that follows this page gave me £1, I could, like so. Not a fan of that. So it's just me being generally exasperated and a bit confused at the wider world. It would be very terrible if I was to put all that going, you all of you people should pay my rent. Wow, thanks. So I'm just a bit of a problem. Hurdle, maybe. So yeah, that's part of what running a business is. You're always trying to sort of figure out how to change, adapt, make things work. So that's all good. I am running out of time. Part of me might just disappear for a minute for the minute of silence and come back because I've still got loads to talk about. But then I don't know if anyone will come back after that. So let me know what you'd prefer. Or I just speak at 10 times speed. As Lentis is fascinating to learn if other small minis businesses are facing this. Yes, because I talked to quite a few people and it has been a general. So that's also where it's like, well, it's not, it's not like my minis are crap. It's not like I've gone, oh, maybe those releases are crap. 'Cause they're not, and they're amazing, and people like them. Okay, we'll do it. But I'm concerned about the clock and whether I'm on the correct time or anything. So maybe I'll do a 2 minutes, just check. Because I've got lots to talk about with the War Peaks testing from last week as well. MJ is chilling, drinking wine on a Sunday night. Nice. So yeah, you'll be there. Yeah, go on then. Go on then. So it's 10:52. I don't want to. That's it. I don't want my clock to be different and go. No, not right now. Let me see if there's a live clock somewhere. Let's do that. I find 1 minute silences really weird, where because you'll be like doing all the stuff and then suddenly it's pause, and then after the minute, it's like, so anyway, where we were anyway, it always feels weirdly extra disrespectful. But if you're down for it, we'll do it. Although saying that, my puppies fell off. I've gesticulated so wildly that the poppy has fell off. So I better put. Oh God! Now I've got a pin in me. So just get that pin out. Sorry, poppy. What did I do to you? It's like evaporated. It's gone back to its people. Hang on. Oh, Gary has to go. See you later, Gary. You can always come back and see the end bit. Genuinely, like the poppy is just gone. There's nowhere. Oh no, you can see I've got pajama bottoms on. The poppy's just gone. Like, I must have really extremely gesticulated. I do like the word gesticulated. Um, gesticulated. Under the scarf. No, that's no. It was here. It's gone. It was there anyway. So, so where we were. So yeah, rather than me just sat here for a minute, I'll just like go over there or something, or put you onto the pigs. Um, that live clock is working. So now I'm just looking for time. God, I can't over talk. We got things, exhibition, history, books. That book, very good. I went on the way back afterwards because I was feeling all chirpy. I went and visited Lil, and because it's kind of on the way as well, which is handy. So I popped in there, and then we had a bit of a charity shop day yesterday where I got this £4 jumper, and the poppy was just like pinged across the room. And I purchased some books. I got this jolly book, this this nice easy read that I'm sure will not be depressing at all. So I'm currently reading this by Laura Bates, which is also really depressing. Um, and what was extra cool is there were some good books at Bletchley Park, but not many specific. Well, there's one specifically at Women, or ones that I already had. Because that was odd, because I only spent like a fiver at Bletchley Park gift shop, because I was like, what's going on? I'm prime gift shop, prime gift shop material. Yeah, we could World War II while we're going to. Yeah, sorry, MJ. The Bletchley Park had a bunch of books that I thought, oh, they were cool, but I can't justify because I already have a million books. I need to be a bit more specific with what I get. And then in the charity shop, yay! What was it? £1.60. Book was 160. So I don't know what charity shops doing with these random 160s at the moment, but so bargain. So I've got that now. So that's a little flick through. So that's cool. Also, a pre-order arrived, which is always a nice surprise, of Pippa Latour. And weirdly, although I learned Alec is a bit like this as well, I like seeing what the text's going to be like, how easy it's going to be to read. I like a good line spacing, so it's got good line spacing there. Yes, and the fact it's a first person account is going to be really, really cool. And I think I remember seeing it, and then I remember pre-ordering it based on the reviews at the back. I went Claire Mully, Helen Fry, and Kate Vigor. I think so. Like having that on the back is just incredible. With like, if I had a book and those three said it was ace, that'd be amazing. James said, my rate of reading, my brain's been fried since at least the pandemic. Mine is fried, to be fair. And I go through phases. Last night I was mostly just playing Stardew Valley, so it wasn't that great a attention span. What are we on? 57. Oh, okay. So we got World War II, going to War Peaks. I'll disappear in a second and do a few minutes. So I'm just going to type it in the chat in case anyone pops by and goes, what? Oh, the two keyboard's not on. There we go. Oh, and I'm going to go into it. No. No, so you're not working either. Oh my lord. No, googly-eyed skull. Um, oh yeah, I just got the bookseller for the first time, like before the stream. I'm going to disappear and also going to drink coffee, but I will be back when I've declared it safely after 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Um, so 1 minute silence as it is Remembrance Day, remembering all of the people from every war pretty much. But as with Bad Squiddo, like to extra remember the people that get forgotten a lot, such as the women, the gay people, the non-white people, all of the people towards these wars that just don't get put on the big silhouettes and things like that. So I will return after that. I'm back. There we go. On a live 1 minute. Well, it ends up being about 5 minutes. Now it feels weird to talk again. Yes, thank you for sticking around, and yes, it's a good time to be thinking of people like Pippa Latour, who again just aren't, even though they're getting a lot more well known, still aren't as much as they should. Um, and obviously a lot of the people that still haven't said what they did or died with their secrets. There's a lot of that. So, and I've got that. I don't really want to go straight into exploding guinea pigs. Drink my coffee. Make sure everyone's back. Googly Eyed Skull says, had I known I had so many books, SOE, Station X books, a charity shops for. To be fair, I do have a lot on that. I've got, because I've got all the Resistance books out, so I've got all the bookcases, and then I've got the areas where this is stuff I'm using at the moment, and we've got the stuff I'm using at the moment is overflowing because I've so many Resistance and SOE books. So that's one that needs to be getting my attention a lot more than it is, because it's been gun pets has been the main thing at the moment. But if I can get that to a point where it's not taking up my entire brain, I can then gun pets Resistance. And what I wanted to do was just get some Resistance out there. But because all the latest releases have been really flat, I worry that because the idea before would be release, say, like 5 Resistance fighters. And then the money from those sales will then help me make another 5, sort of thing, or even like a few more, and it kind of propels itself on. But where are we? Oh, it's not brain. But at the moment, it's more of, if I release them, and then I need to find money from somewhere else to release the next one. Whereas if I do a Kickstarter, the money's there straight away. But I also don't want to over Kickstart people. Ideally, like to do about 2 a year. But if it gets more, I don't want people to be just like dulled to it, and then I've ruined, but you know what I mean, used up Kickstarter more, and then I've got to find another thing, and that's quite a thing at the moment. Daniel says the weirdest part of a moment of silence is breaking the silence, but breaking the silence is important too. We'll remember, but celebrate life going forward. Yes, that is very good, very good. Jill says the book chat always makes her librarian's heart very happy. Yes. And what was another? That was another good one there. It's another good one. Jez says, I found out about so many women in history thanks to this Sunday morning. And I want to do a lot more of that. I do want to do a lot more of the education side of it, which is why I want to do more of the community minis, because we get a lot. I'm actually warm now. We get a lot of learning opportunity there, and I like being a bit of a vessel. So I what's the word? Learn all the things, make it sound simple, and then send it to you. So I want to do a lot more of that. Jill said Go Pets was a bit delayed anyway, didn't you say? I think a Resistance Kickstarter. I don't think a Resistance Kickstarter would be a bad thing. I think that's going to end up going in front of that, because I really want it, and I think it feels like more than ever we should be doing this, specifically with the Resistance theme. So if I do, let's look at me live deciding. Might not have time by the end of this year, but maybe for early next year, because Gunny Pet stuff can still be being developed as well. So it's now, I think I'm kind of settled on War Pigs. I like War Pigs. It's nice and simple. It's got pigs in it, thus making pigs a day-to-day word again. Yes, bring back pigs. So War Pigs. So last week, you saw the live show with me and Tara, who is also mangling minis, who also has a new game out called Have At Thee, which we played. And I was triple tasking at the time, and I understood what was going on. So that's a good review of it. It is available on Wargame Vault, so go have a look. It's called Have At Thee. Also Black Sabbath vibes. It says Jamie, so bonus. So Saturday we did a lot of intense play testing. I think my brain was absolutely like melted. Sunday, so we had CJ, Charlotte, Rob, and Tara and me on the Saturday. And on the Sunday was a bit quieter. That actually worked out perfectly. So we had Amy, also Andy, wasn't it, an event? So instead of running across 2 games, because we'd made quite a few changes by then as well, and I couldn't remember them all. And Tara's really good at absorbing all of this information. So I was kind of, instead of running back and forth, thought, right, we'll get Andy and Amy to play a game because they didn't play it well, Andy did, but pre the changes that we'd made. So we can almost treat that as a next round. Tara, being rules brain, can kind of do the telling them what they need to do, because by that point I think my brain was and I can watch how people react and take lots of notes. So they played 2 games and it was really good. What was surprising, I guess, is that every single person who came contributed, and that doesn't seem terrible. I expected some people not to contribute. But every person had a really good thing to add. And there's no pressure. If you're in a future playtest, think, oh god, I have to bring something to add. You don't. It was just amazing that everyone did that particular time. So we've changed quite a lot of it, but not the core mechanics. So Amy says it was super fun. Googly Eyes Skulls says not hamsters, war pigs. Pigs and bunnies. I don't know if we'll do hamsters because I've already had to scale up the pigs, and hamsters are so small. They might end up being like a hamster, like on the back of a dog or something, and it could be really, really tiny. But where's the this jumper is so nice and warm. So we got through a lot. So it was less intense on the Sunday, but that ended up being really good. I was really impressed that I didn't cry at any point, because I was getting really overwhelmed, but in a good way, because there's just so much information. And that's the bit where I kind of run out of Annie. So I was running out of a bit of Annie. So I'm really glad that we played Have At Thee. So we got to play that with Tara because he brought a really nice board along as well. So we played a 4-way Have At Thee, which was wicked. That's moved along. So that was all ace. What was I going to say? So we rain. What was it? Guineas. It could be guineas instead of hamsters. Guineas gathered in their masses. So we've made a whole bunch of progress with that, which is really positive. And when I said, there were loads of feedback, it wasn't everyone going, "Oh, this is terrible." It's like, well, if we change that bit there and that bit there, and there were lots of, we said last week, there were lots of good war stories of how it was working, and there was a good chortle rate, so that was nice. And I still, oh god, I thought that was broken there. It's not. I still have to talk to Nick because that was planned for last week. This week was a bit crap, but I've still managed to do loads of stuff. So I had lots of tax to do, which no one ever wants, and then just loads of things kept going wrong, and I've not been well. So, but so I hadn't had a chance to fully go into it with Nick. So possibly, no, not that yet. I'm not going to do any work today. Who am I kidding? But I'm not going to go back to bed. I might make it so that I might tell Andy, if he's still watching, that if I go back to bed, he has to just like keep air horning or something so that I don't just go to bed. Because I can do a lot of stuff. I want to have a bit of a potter around the house. But yeah, I'm not feeling very well, so if I just chill out. But next week, I'll arrange a day to talk to Nick and get through the next. So update the latest rules, get them printed off, and then do some more playing. I'm not going to have a dedicated weekend again yet, but I want to start getting some regular games in, whether they're like almost sort of line them up with different people. So if anyone local is game for that, just so I can keep it in my brain and just keep going on with it. So if the day-to-day is doing resistance fighter stuff, I can still be also in War Pigs, because I very struggle to keep attention on one thing at a time, and I've got to do with these two, because War Pigs did get into like the impossible part of my brain for too long, and now it's out. When we were playing Sunday, I said, I just want to play that. I just want to work on this. Why can't I just work on this? And yeah, there's a bunch of people that will get brain get roped into some gun pets because I've got two units. Brown Sabbaths. Oh no. I will check that out. What else have I got? 'Cause I don't have any notes. Got that. Yeah, I've just been. All of my technology died on me this week as well. I don't know why why my keyboard's not working now, but uh, I haven't even set it up yet. That's why. Yes. Um, I got a new keyboard because the last keyboard died. So that's it. It's now just me going. Feel like 'cause I made you wait a bit though. Gotta like make up for it with something else. But no, no, just looking around. Anything cool to show you? So next week I will be sending. I haven't read Atomic Robo. I might have a little look at that actually today because that has been on top of the things I need to read so that I don't forget. Because I can, well, like many people, can be a sucker for borrowing books and then never giving them back because I never get around to reading them. So I will actually. Um, I also, yeah, I had lots of really nice chats with people at the exhibition as well. Like when I'd been looking at stuff and then chatting to someone who was also looking, there were some really interesting people there. So that was just really nice. So I'm totally like, of course, now super medieval pumped for stuff, but I will channel that into some immediate resistance fighter stuff. As Alan has just finished one of the top secret projects that we've been working on, so he's now free to do the next stuff. I need to get I need to finally get the vehicle warrior stuff together for him as well as a bunch of other bits. But I will. So next week I will be contacting the casters and we'll be locating all of the blanks. So that's the sort of skeletons, weapons, things like that for anything that could be relevant. So I've already brought stuff like that to Alan and we've kind of gone through what will be suitable, what won't be suitable. So I need to get them over to Alan, then get Alan to make a lot more because we want even more variety of poses. And I've showed these off before. They're where it's kind of like a mannequin in the top half, and then there's very loose sort of legs and shoes on the bottom half. So when they're uniform, they're always going to be wearing the same bits. But also for the civilians, it'll be just like bare legs, but into the little standard shoe, the little small heeled shoe. So to get a nice range of those, because then once they're done, it's going to be a way easy to make lots of different resistance fighters doing lots of cool things. I need to get that way more together. But none of that was going to happen this week. But hopefully I'll get my pizzazz back next week. It's been coming back. The return of the pizzazz. So we'll be doing that. I will be finally getting those cards ordered for the community minis, which I have not done yet. I will be sending the latest community minis to John, which I was supposed to do this week and didn't. So he'll be painting those up. So Olga, Mary, and Anne. I also need to take some pictures of them before they go to him. So they're being cast. They've been approved and cast, which is very good. Return of Pizzazz. Give that woman a monkey. That may have been what was sung to the abbot. We don't actually know. It could have happened. Give me a monkey. Da, 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 da. Something like that, maybe historically. Anyone who is musically minded, please make me a nun wants a monkey song. Carol has to go. That's all right. It's 20 past for a while. But thank you for coming along, and thank you as always for all the support and all that sort of stuff. And hello to your doggies. So well, we are singing nuns or singing troubadours. What else will I be doing next week? So I'll be doing my planning. I'll be putting all my cool stuff up. I will be emailing Rory to thank him. And I always feel like I'm like, oh, she must have a right nice life. She doesn't do anything. And I mentioned all of like, there's always these like grindy day-to-day horrible things. Usually dealing with Royal Mail, to be fair, going, why is it so expensive again? But they're the main things that would be of interest to you that I will be doing. And then hopefully it can only be depending on when the minis get painted, what we're now. I'm still hoping that we'll have community minis for the end of November, which would be excellent. That would mean in your hand, unless it gets caught in customs for ages. So those minis will be shipping, which will be really, really cool. I did catch up on a bunch of emails this week too, so getting there. But I'm just, as always, just always in a sort of general state of overwhelm. So some bits I do occasionally, especially I've said before, if it's emails that aren't mega urgent, they do sometimes fall into the void because I go, and I've had a bunch of people that I know personally sort of going, you know, you never replied to me. You're like, oh, because I get so many messages as soon as they go out of like the first 5, they're gone forever, effectively. So sometimes I will only see something, and it's been like someone sent me a fresh message and it's gone to the top, and I happen to be online then, because otherwise I would just be on the computer all the time, which is something I try to avoid. Daniel is off. Bye. You won't miss much because I am going to go now. I think I'm on my ramble where I don't want to go stage. I still want to talk more about the exhibition, but no, so good. It was just really good. And I really hope that things like this get more attention so that there can be more of it, but also that people can just put more women's things into exhibitions in general without having to have a specific thing for it. I totally understand now why it has to be, in the same way that people go, okay, just add more, you know, you don't have to specialize in women, like we do until the balance is redressed, which could be a while. So I've had like, on one hand, a bit of a bummer of a week for various reasons, especially like the grim results around the world, being ill, doing tax, all that sort of stuff. But I'm possibly more fired up than ever in a, like, I need to share the voices of these women, and I'm in a position where I can do something. And it's not huge, but if everyone does a little something, then it helps. So talking about these inspiring women, getting people to know about it, that is the full like mission of what I do. And again, it's got me then kicked up the ass to get more of this resistance work done, because nobody knows a lot of these names. There's the famous ones that you do know, you know, like Nancy Wakes, obviously more well known. But there's just so many that, not just Nancy, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? More of these resistance fighters, SOE agents whose stories haven't been told or just aren't seen as cool because they're women. And so instead of just being rage, I can channel the rage. Yes. So thank you very much. Did I tell you last week, right? When I did the you buy 5 turkey men, you get one absolutely free. Someone did it. Someone bought 6 turkey men, and I was just like, you crazy bastard, you've done it. So that was ace. So thank you, purveyor of 6 turkey men that I do not know what cursed reason. So Jill says, size of the impact isn't what makes it worthwhile. It's putting it out there so anyone can find it and fall into their own investigation. Yes. Also, what was also inspiring at that was that it's inspiring but saddening at the same time. But it's one of those, like, you've got to laugh or it'll be horrific. There was a whole thing on gender pay gap there, but not in a, you know, this is gender pay gap because they haven't even thought about it. It was just like, these are the wages from some farm work, so obviously women are like getting less. One of them was a woman who was fighting for women's rights to be able to wear particular things, and it's a bit like, how have we actually come very far because we're fighting the same battles? It's just very, very slow. And there's a very good song by Grace Petrie called The Losing Side, which is something I listen to when I could do a bit of a boost. And she talks about how it's, you know, always being on the losing side, that it takes a long, things just take a very long time. They shouldn't, but they do. But you shouldn't be disheartened by there being, by not making a massive change, because the little change is still really important and really fought for. Andy says, Annie channels the power of all women in history, like Rey in Rise of Skywalker. As she's doing her taxes, she hears inspirational quotes from Joan of Arc, Phulhan Devi, etc. I do. Also, inspirational quotes from Alan Partridge and such. So we got Alex is also, yeah, the women farm workers all had there were lots of the names where I can't remember what it's called. In my mind it was the Tiffany problem, but I don't think it's the problem with Tiffany. The Tiffany something, where some names you assume are modern names and then you see them from the past and it's like, oh, that's weird. It doesn't really fit, because you're used to those sort of classic names, but other names that have a more modern sound are actually still well there. Right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna eat something. Just in case you're wondering what I was gonna do now, I'm gonna eat that last mince pie. That's what I'm gonna do. If you wish to do the same, you may. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for being excellent. You are all really nice people. And something, so when I've been in a bit of a downer this week and gone like, oh dear Lord, what's happening to the world? Um, the fact that we all together, um, have created this really nice community, gives me a lot of faith, and that's really important. That there are really really nice, wonderful people out there, and that's you. Yay! So thank you. That sounds made up, but it's not. So I'm going to go and thank you all and farewell. Let me click the button. Bye. Have a nice day.